Hi everyone, Tam's here. Today I want to talk about how I use vision boards in my weekly journaling in my Midori Traveler's Notebook. Now, if you watched my last video, you may have noticed that I filled up an entire insert. This is what Midori calls a notebook. They call them inserts. And I have filled it up, and this is 6 months worth of weekly journaling. Now, the way I used a vision board when I started this notebook is I really wanted to focus on words. For some reason, I was really into words. And you can use words or photos. Now, a vision board is really just a visual interpretation of where you want to go, what you want in your life, how you want to feel. Some people even put material items, specific material items, and I don't really do that. I really find that just focusing on how I want to feel and just concepts works better for me. And then what I do each week, if you've been watching my Midori wrap ups, you know that my prompts are really just me documenting how my vision was coming to fruition. Now, I document things that I do myself and also things that come to me. So, it's not just you making it happen. It's an entire community of things happening in your life to make this happen. And the whole reason I do this is an exercise for me to be more mindful. And being mindful means paying attention to what's going on around you. So that's just a quick summary of why I use the vision board and how I use the vision board. But I have started this week a new insert. Now, I use the Midori 019. You can use any notebook you want, but the first couple of pages, this insert is a weekly insert. So the layout looks like this. There's a weekly diary on one side and then just a grid paper on the other to do what you want. But the first couple of pages I don't use, so I turn them into my vision board. Now, this season, for some reason, I am really into images. So I just thought I'd show you how I'm using images, some words, but mostly images. And instead of one vision board, I actually did 3, just to highlight some of the things that I want to accomplish, mostly focus on, and feel. So, for instance, I know that the past 6 months I got quite a bit of enjoyment out of gardening. So, I want to continue on with that. And yes, there are some specific material things I would like to have. I mean, wouldn't we all? But I find that if you put a specific item on your vision board, you just go directly to that. And some people can make that happen. And if that makes you happy, go for it. Do what makes you you. But I really enjoy the journey and the process. So just a very, very simple example for my garden is, yes, I would like to have a potting bench. I have looked at hundreds of photos on Pinterest and Instagram and looked at videos of garden tours, and I would love to have my own potting bench. I mean, who wouldn't? So when I first started looking at them, I thought that I was supposed to have a very specific type of potting bench, and I realized they were not in my budget, and so it was just not going to happen anytime soon. But then what I started doing by waiting, I started just making a space in my yard where I hope the potting bench will eventually go. I started using that space. I started storing my pots in that space, potting soil in that space, and it's just evolving. And what I've realized is that eventually I will have this potting bench, but it will be mine, and it's probably going to be made out of found items. And that's what I call the process. I would have completely missed out on that little journey, the satisfaction of making my own space. And what I mean by making my own space, like I weed it out. I mean, that's work. That's things I'm physically doing. I'm weeding it out. I'm designing it in my head. I'm placing things in there that I already have. And and I'm being mindful of things that may be coming to me. Like someone may have an old box or an old bucket or something like that, an old bench. And if they offer it to me, then I'm probably going to see if I can somehow fit it into my garden. But anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. There's a lot of information online about vision boards. There's a lot of different ways people use them. I really just use them to keep me focused. And yes, some of them are things I'd love to have, but I tend to not put physical things or specific physical material items on there because I find that to be quite disappointing. I find the power of setting your intention with a vision board to be the actual journey and the process and the exercise of being mindful each week of how maybe things came to fruition for you. So anyway, I hope that is helpful, and I'll see you next week. Bye.